In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? Is it like the hand of God hovering above? At least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will.
Hey! Hey! Cut! No!
Show you another way. So put your glasses on. Nothing will be wrong. There's no brain, there's no fame. It's up to you. The fast watch you'll be fine now. While ever hold you back, I can't get it all. Tell me what you want. I don't know why, don't know what it's bad. Tell me what you say. I don't know why, too late, it's too late.
As I said before, you're free to do as you wish. You must choose which path to take, now that you know what it means to fight.
Hey.
Where am I?
You're in a cave down by the river. Lucky for us, the water broke our fall.
River?
You don't remember anything, do you? We almost drowned out there. But don't worry yourself about it. Damn it, don't get up yet! Your fever hasn't completely broken! It was the only choice I had. You were completely drenched and nearly frozen to death. What's that look for? Oh! What the hell is wrong with you? I just saved your damn life! Hey, ah! Did you cut it out? What is your goddamn... Woman, you've gone completely insane! I hate to tell you this, but I saved your life back there! It wasn't easy dragging you out of the river, covered in armor! And you choose to thank me by throwing a knife at my head? Be thankful that you're just a woman, or I dislocate your jaw!
I don't like it, at all! Women have no place playing at being knights!
You get angry too easily, and you're irrational. That's why a woman shouldn't be allowed on the battlefield. What?
I didn't choose this. I never asked to be born a woman.
Hey, I'm sorry. What, you... You're in a hell of a mood!
Let go!
Calm down!
Let go!
I asked you to calm down. Here, put this on. I've been wearing it. Don't worry, it's already dry. Come on, don't tell me that you're still crying.
Shut up and don't look at me! This is pathetic. I never asked for your help before, and I sure as hell don't want it now.
She really hates me. So tell me, why did you join the Band of the Hawk in the first place? I'd imagine that war must be pretty rough on a woman. Not that it's any of my business, of course.
Griffith.
Huh?
Because of Griffith. I was born in a small farming village deep in the mountains. The land was barren, and the crops were meager. But that didn't keep them from taxing us heavily for the war efforts, bleeding us dry and taking what little food we had. Frequently, we would eat nothing for 3 days at a time. Each winter, many villagers died of hunger. Because we were along the border, the village itself was often involved in skirmishes. We were forced to watch as they trampled our houses and destroyed our fields, powerless to protest. It was the same in other villages. We were used to it, having to watch our lives being destroyed over and over again. For us, it was just the way life was. Then, one day, a nobleman passed through our village, and it happened that I caught his eye. The nobleman offered to take me in as a servant. At first, my father hesitated, but later he accepted the offer. I understood why my father would give me, his youngest daughter, to this noble, and I accepted it. A young girl was of little use to the family, and food would go further with less mouths to feed. However, looking back, I should have expected it. It seems so obvious to me now. It was absurd to think a nobleman would take the trouble to save a girl from a poor family out of pure kindness. Just a daydream of a naive mind. There is no choice. This is just the way things are. Thoughts like these help me deal with reality.
Do you think somehow you've been chosen by God just because you're a nobleman?
It was like a moment in a dream, unreal and divine. In his mercy, God had sent me a savior, an angel to defend me. And for a moment, that's what I honestly believed. But what the angel offered me was not the salvation I expected.
If you have something to protect, then take up the sword.
I was terrified. I don't know if he fell on the sword, or if I stabbed him. Either way, I had killed a man. The stranger just looked at me knowingly and smiled. It was then that I fully understood the true depth of the lesson that I'd been given.
Griffith, we've cleared everything out.
Don't go! Please wait! What should I do now?
Do as you wish.
Please, I want to go with you!
No way. What do you take us for? We're not a band of thieves. We are collecting money and supplies so that we can raise an army. We can't be dragging women and kids along for the ride.
You won't have to! If you teach me how to use a sword, then I'll fight! I beg you.
I think she's actually serious.
Even if it means your death. As I said before, you're free to do as you wish. You must choose which path to take, now that you know what it means to fight.
It was so little. A sword and a blanket is all that he gave me. But because of that one day, my life had been altered. Instead of waiting and enduring, I now fought for what I wanted. From then on, I absolutely worshipped him. I felt as though I was in a dream. An outcast band of commoners became an invincible army. It's miraculous the way we fought. And even more, our leader was young and still innocent. And his roots were as common as our own. A miracle. That's what Griffith was to me. Somehow, I managed to make myself a soldier. By then, the Hawks had become involved in a territorial dispute led by a certain local nobleman. This nobleman was well known and very wealthy. but he had an infamous and unsavory reputation due to his obvious preference of young boys. Officially, these boys were his hired servants. The truth of the matter, however, was he kept them to satisfy his urges. Their eyes were vacant and lifeless, filled with fear. I felt a chill run down my spine. Fear and hatred welled up inside me, and I was overcome with disgust, because I recognized in them what could have been my fate. It was the same hand that saved me then that he put on my shoulder that day. His touch never failed to calm my nerves. We saw many battles after that day. A young boy had joined us as a soldier.
Griffith,
What's that?
they were the boy's belongings.
Griffith?
He so badly wanted to be a knight. I remember this boy well. When he looked at me, his eyes filled with wonder, as though I were a hero. Was he happy, I wonder? He died while pursuing his dream. But I think it was my dream that killed him.
I've never seen a proud man's shoulders sink so low. Before that day, I had never seen Griffith depressed. From that moment on, Griffith seemed different to me. It was a few days after we had returned from that battle, after nightfall. Griffith!
No! You cannot be serious.
Casca, why don't you join me?
Well, I'm not...
You think I'm disgusting?
I don't! Why were you there last night? I know! I took it the wrong way! It was something else! It was a meeting for the War Council, wasn't it? I mistook it!
No. There was no mistake.
Why would you do that with him?
For the money. Maintaining an army is quite costly. Soldiers, horses, provisions, and equipment. None of these are free. The Hawks will grow even larger, and so will their expenses. I must help my army grow, and that, I'm afraid, takes tremendous funds. So I found someone who is as interested in me as I am in his substantial fortune. So we have come to an agreement.
Even so! You can't! Why can't things just stay as they are? I know we could earn the money you need. We just have to keep winning!
That would take a tremendous amount of time, and the more battles we fight, the more people we lose.
You're thinking about that boy, aren't you, Griffith?
I'm not. I came to this conclusion rationally. Which is the lesser risk for me? Losing hundreds of my men in tens of battles? Or receiving what I need from some rich old man? Listen, Casca. I feel no responsibility to those comrades who've lost their lives in my service. Because they chose to fight those battles. Just as you chose. Just as I.
Griffith?
Just as I have chosen this. But if there is one thing I can do for them, for the dead, it is to win. And keep winning until I attain my dream. A dream they clung to and risked their lives for.
Griffith, stop it!
I can't just step over the bones of the dead in order to realize it. My dream is already smeared with blood. I don't regret, I don't feel guilty, but I'd rather sacrifice myself than watch any more innocent children die in the name of my dream.
Stop it! Please, stop it!
It's all right. It was nothing.
Griffith had already recovered himself by the time he put his hand on my shoulder. But the sadness wouldn't leave me. Griffith has a dream that he refuses to abandon, while most people have forgotten about their own dreams long ago. It is grand and it is pure, but it is a heavy weight for one man to carry, no matter how noble he is. And to make such a dream a reality, one must inevitably endure terrible things. He wasn't born strong, but because of his dream, he knows that he must be. I want to be by his side during every last moment. If he dedicates himself entirely to his dream, if he has to fight to forge his dream, then I want to be a sword for him. His strength during battle. I want to play that important role in the fulfillment of his dream. And once, I believed that my wish would be granted. But then, you arrived. Do you even remember what he said that day on the hilltop when Griffith asked you to join us?
I want you to join us, Guts.
The way he spoke, he had never given such high praises to anyone. I was overcome with envy that day. He barely knew you, and yet he held you in such regard. I despised you. I tried to convince myself that Griffith wanted you solely for the strength you would add to the Hawks. But I see the way Griffith treats you differently. He becomes unnerved if you're in danger and acts impulsively, as if... Griffith puts his faith in you, but you can't appreciate the implications that has. And I'll never forget that because of you, because of your recklessness and your selfishness, Griffith was nearly killed! I don't care if you drop dead in the field somewhere, but if you compromise Griffith's dream, if you ruin that, I will never forgive you. Do you hear me? I can't forgive you for making Griffith change like he has. Why you? Why did he choose you of all people? Why you? Guts, what are you doing?
Hey, listen, if you ask me, they're dead by now. I mean, think about how they fell from that cliff. So what? We get the reward money whether they're dead or alive. But what I don't understand is why Sir Adon cares so damn much about these two.
Because it's the leader of the Hawks Raiders and that female battalion commander.
Why don't we look downstream from here? The bodies may have drifted because of the current.
Good idea.
Yeah, sounds good.
Casca. Here, take this medicine. It'll lower your fever. We have no time to rest. We'll leave at nightfall.
Looking back, the morning comes to find your face in your grass. Take the moon right by the turtle and decide you're shedding. What is that? It's just the same. What is trying your crown? I'm spanning my grass, walking back so let my grass you're fading. I'm waiting so long. I'm waiting so long. I'm waiting so long. I'm waiting.
To wield a sword is to be alive. Dreams are spun and heaped with desire. Still, something pure is being lost. One wields a sword for another. One wields a sword only for oneself. In the end, what is waiting? In the end, is there such a thing as joy?